Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new episode of Namo Connect with the team I Support Namo. Our guest tonight is Mr. Ram Madhav. He's the spokesperson, media, and public relation person with Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Mr. Ram Madhav started as a Swayamsevak as a child, and then he decided, or should I say, volunteered himself to be a pracharak, full-time pracharak with RSS. As a pracharak, he was given multiple assignments, but something which he loves doing is writing. He has authored many books. He's authored almost 12 books in his life so far, and he also writes for regional and national magazines in newspapers. He has been a journalist with RSS, and he has written for various publications and biographies with RSS personalities. I welcome you, Mr. Ram Madhav.
Thank you.
I
Namaskar to all.
this in this hangout, what we do is you will be able to see a lot of participants who will put questions to you, and there will be Twitter question and Facebook questions which we receive from all over the world. The hashtag is Namo Connect. So as and when they come, I will put them across to you. But let me start by asking you something which has been my personal observation. What I have seen about RSS and what I have read about RSS is completely different from what most of the people perceive about RSS. It's like 180 degrees, the reality is something and the perception is something else. So do you fight a battle between reality and perception?
See, one of the scholars of RSS has once made a very pertinent observation. He said the RSS is very difficult to understand and very easy to misunderstand. Unfortunately, people do not take enough, make enough efforts to understand the RSS from close quarters. But I must tell you, those who come close to the RSS, and rather those who have come close to the RSS, their numbers are also not small. They are in millions. All of them understand RSS very well. They don't have any such doubts or any such inhibitions about the RSS. But yes, we do have this problem of image and reality gap, which we constantly try to bridge. In fact, I would like to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity. Again, this is another such opportunity which we can use to bridge the gap of image and reality.
As a spokesperson somebody who interacts with media, who interacts with most of these prominent people in the society, have you ever tried to negate this factor? You've been written so badly in Indian media as well as international media. How do you counteract such negativities?
What I noticed in all these years was that this misunderstanding about the organization is mostly because of political reasons. Those who are genuine scholars, they study the organization well, they understand and they appreciate the thinking of the organization. But those who have certain political considerations behind their whole opposition to RSS, their attacks on RSS, etc., they know the reality that what they are talking about is not what the RSS is all about. They know the truth, but it's a sort of a political compulsion for them to keep talking ill of the organization. Of course, it is difficult to handle this second category of people who do it deliberately, knowing well that what they say about RSS is not what RSS is really all about. But then about the first section, it is our constant endeavor, and I can tell you, I have traveled to many countries. I have talked to many, a good number of people. Once we explain to them our views and all that, they naturally understand, support our thinking, or at least appreciate our views on various issues.
Okay, so tell us, what exactly is RSS? What does RSS stands for? What are the principles and values that you have, and what kind of India RSS wants to make?
No, very simple. Many times this whole the phrase called RSS ideology. I would like to say on record that we do not have any separate ideology, special ideology that probably we have propounded. Our whole ideology is nation first ideology. It's a very simple thing. We want to prepare the ordinary citizens of this country to serve the community, serve the country in whatever best possible way they can. Equipping ordinary Indians, rather making ordinary Indians patriots, is the only ideology that the RSS has got. The only activity that RSS is involved in is to inculcate values like patriotism, love for our country and culture in the minds of ordinary Indians. Because we felt, and not just we, here I would like to quote Mahatma Gandhi also. Unless the man on the street is infused with a sense of patriotism for the country, a sense of service to the community, it's not the duty of just the governments alone. So it's the duty of every Indian. That sense of belongingness to the country and community, it has to be imbibed to every citizen. That is the objective with which the RSS operates in this country.
I have often heard from Swayamsevak this term called cultural nationalism. Is it something which RSS propounds?
See, this ideology has been described by many in different ways. Some describe it as cultural nationalism. Some call it as integral humanism. There are different ways of explaining this idea, where we see India's unity, oneness as something based on India's ancient culture. India is one, not merely because of its one government or one constitution that we all have, or one polity, not just these things which keep India united. There is a larger unifying factor in this country, which we see in India's age-old culture. That is the real unifier. That is the real factor that keeps this country united. So it is important to nourish, protect, and promote that cultural identity, cultural aspect of this society, which is very ancient, very noble, very Catholic. That cultural idea, cultural identity needs to be protected. That is what we try to do, and that is how that idea is described as cultural nationalism, to keep this nation one on the basis of its age-old culture. It's a simplified way of, what I said, the nation first idea is one way of interpreting it.
I guess you need to put this idea across more often, because even cultural nationalism has been distorted to quite an extent. Okay,
I must tell you, distortion can happen with any word. Even nationalism is distorted. As though people have to introduce themselves as anti-nationalists. So many, I see many journalists coming and asking, "You are a nationalist. Yeah, what should I be? Should I be an anti-nationalist?" So this is playing with words, misrepresenting the meaning of the words. This happens, as I said, for political reasons.
We will take a participant. Uttara is there online. Uttara, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Uttara?
Yeah, yes, I can, Seema.
Uttara, are you there?
Yes, yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Uttara?
Hello.
Okay. Uttara,
yeah.
Introduce yourself to Mr. Ram Madhav. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good evening, Mr. Madhav.
Introduce yourself to Mr. Ram Madhav and ask your question.
Okay. Madhav, I am a volunteer for BJP, and I'm trying to do my bit to see that he becomes the next PM of the country. I would like to ask you that people are very ill-informed about the RSS. Can you tell us more about the mission of the RSS and what sort of work do they do?
I think I've answered that question already, but for your benefit, let me repeat it. The RSS is an organization working at the grassroots, right, at the lowest unit of our country, that is a village. We focus on inculcating certain values in the ordinary citizens of our country. Values like patriotism, that is love for our country, also love for our culture, commitment to unity of our country, a sense of service to the community. Anybody uh, in our surroundings, if he is in need of something, we should naturally be helping him, serving him. This kind of a sense of service, these noble values, which have been there in our culture from time immemorial. They are the identity of this country. I mean, Swami Vivekananda, when he traveled abroad, the one identity he talked about for the Hindus of this country, for our culture, was that we are a country, we are a people who believe in service and sacrifice. So these values, imparting these values in ordinary Indians, that is the only objective with which the RSS works. To achieve that objective, we have shakas in about 45,000 places in the country. Not just shakas, our people then run schools all over the country, do number of other activities. We have some 150,000 service projects all over the country run by people who have imbibed these ideas, these values. So this is how the RSS operates. It's an NGO totally committed to serving the community with the help of the people themselves, not from taking help from the governments and all. By the people, for the country, for the culture, for the community.
Uttara, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm glad you were able to tell us all this. Most of us are not aware of so many shakhas and activities. It's only lately that due to Mr. Modi being from the RSS that people have started understanding more about the RSS. I'm glad for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uttara.
Thank you, but you can also visit the website of the RSS, rss.org.
Okay, thank you so much.
To get more information and up-to-date information about the activity of RSS.
Thank you, Uttara. We will have Mr. Chandra Nayak, Chandra Kiran Nayak.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Mr. Chandra Kiran Nayak,
Yeah, can you hear me?
are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mr. Nayak. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Mr. Ram Madhav. This is Shri Ram Madhav. I'm a real estate investor in Mumbai, and I'm an avid Namo supporter and also a staunch follower of RSS also. My question to you was, the Hindus in Pakistan and in Bangladesh, I'm in touch with a lot of them on Facebook forums, and they're actually having a very hard time there because they're getting attacked all the time and temples are being destroyed, stuff like that. So I wanted to know what we in India can do. I know that we cannot do anything in these countries, but we can at least open our borders and get them Indian citizenship. If not in the Congress ruled states, then at least in the BJP ruled states, or something of that sort. Or we can get a PIL file to get them citizenship for being, being in the peril that they're in. So I wanted to know your thoughts on what you are working on or what is possible for these people.
Thank you. Yes, it's an important concern for not just Hindus alone, but all those who love human rights of the people anywhere in the world. The issue of minority Hindus in countries that you have mentioned, which are our neighborhood countries, have become a major matter of concern to all of us. One part of it is those who escape from those situations in their respective countries and come to India for for shelter and all. Of course, we ask the government to extend all possible and necessary help to those people. There were a few hundred people who crossed over from Pakistan to India in the recent couple of years. We made sure that government, or rather governments, help settle them in some places in the country, and also larger society also is helping them in a big way. Community is also helping them in a big way in Punjab, in Delhi, and in other places. But this issue is not limited to those who cross over into India, because we must remember that it's a very small section of the people who can afford even to cross over into India. A large section of those people cannot even have that kind of a possibility to escape all these things and then try and get shelter in India. So what is needed is that international community, the Hindus, the Indians living abroad or all over the world, but also the world community, probably countries like, institutions like US Congress and all those people who have great concerns about human rights in India. They should show equal concern for the minorities in all these countries, especially in countries like Pakistan and Bangladesh. And they should take up the cause of those, Rinkil Kumaris and many more such people in Pakistan and other countries. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem happening in a manner that it should have happened. Probably people, Indians who are living in other countries should use their influence, should use their good offices to reach out to those governments and bring pressure on the Pakistan government, make it accountable for the welfare and well-being of the minorities in that country. It is one thing to expect them to cross over into India. Probably Pakistan will be more than happy to push all of them over into India. But that's not the thing that we want. We want Pakistan government to be made accountable for the welfare and well-being of all their people, including the minorities in that country. Not just Hindus, the Christians in that country face extreme forms of persecution. So all these things have to be taken up by world community. Those who want democracy, who want human rights to be protected, they all should raise their voice supporting the people, minority communities in these countries.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Nayak, do you have any more questions?
No, that is it. I mean, I was just worried for the Hindus who are in the other countries getting. So thank you so much for that answer.
Thank you. I will ask you one important question, which is generally in the minds of all Indians, as to what is the relationship between RSS and BJP? Is RSS the umbilical cord of BJP? Do you control BJP? Are BJP people being supported morally and guided by you?
Umbilical relationship, yes, but that is ideological. We share a same idea about India, its identity, its future. We all believe in India's age-old cultural identity. We want that cultural identity to be protected and preserved, so that India remains one, India remains strong. Beyond that, we are two separate independent organizations working in two different areas. For example, the BJP essentially works in the political arena. Their concerns are essentially political, whereas the RSS is essentially a socio-cultural organization with the priority areas being reaching out to last man on the street. So we work among the people, we work among the citizens of the country, and our areas of focus are social issues, cultural issues. But yes, there are certain areas of overlap. When we have set social issues as our target, there is bound to be some political, some connection with politics of the day. So some of the Swayamsevaks who are inspired by the idea of the RSS, they do join politics. Many of them end up joining the BJP, because that is where this idea of India's unity, India's integrity, India's oneness can be taken forward. So those individuals who are inspired by the RSS and working in political area become our natural link. Otherwise, we are two independent, separate organizations. The decision-making process, the organizational structure, everything is independent. Now, talking about influence, the only influence is through those individuals, those who get their basic inspiration from the RSS, then take up political activity and join BJP and rise in ranks. They become the natural link between the RSS and the BJP.
So how did RSS career help BJP in this 2014 elections? I have seen huge enthusiasm in RSS regarding Mr. Modi's prime ministership.
RSS wants to help the country, and we have reached out, our cadres have reached out to people in a very big way in this election, essentially telling the people two things. One is the kind of threats or challenges that the country is facing today, largely due to the misgovernance of the present government in the last almost 10 years. There are multifarious dangers, threats, challenges, like security has become a major challenge, borders are compromised, internal security is in a major danger, major threat. Similarly, economic situation is going from bad to worse. Then social cohesion has become a large issue, big issue today. Division on minority majority lines, division on caste lines is becoming so serious that now we see a large fragmentation happening in the country. Then, of course, corruption, malgovernance. So these issues are very major challenges before the country. This is one thing that we are placing before the people. But the more important thing for which we are all working, our people are working, is in India, voting percentages have been traditionally very low. The more urban you are, the less your turnout will be. So this time we are making very conscious efforts to make people go and vote, use the right, right of vote. They want to use it. So that is the second thing that we are doing in this election. And as far as helping the BJP is concerned, the issues that we are raising, the concerns that we are raising, are the concerns that the BJP also shares. So I hope that the people of India, they are wise enough to understand that probably they use their that discretion well and choose the right party and right leader for the country.
Something, this election has been so rhetorical that all the past acquisition about RSS has begun to come back again. It's come back to haunt RSS, like Rahul Gandhi calling RSS the same organization which assassinated Mahatma Gandhi. Digvijay calling RSS a terrorist organization. Why don't you do a defamation on them? Or why don't you tell the actual truth behind
it? See, we are not haunted by these allegations or these accusations because, number one, they are not new. They have been talking all these things for so many years. Number two, as I said in the beginning itself, that these are all motivated attacks, motivated campaigns. The main objective is precisely that they want to drag us into that discourse. Religion, communalism, Hindu, Muslim, this discourse, they want to drag us into that, and they want to make that the discourse of this election. Whereas the issue for this election is more about India's security, India's economy, India's development story, India's growth rate, India's employment, aspirations of our youth. Yes, there are certain issues like communal divisions in the country on the lines of majority and minority. There are also issues of concern today. But Congress, other parties, on this issue of development, they have nothing to talk about. Their track record is so poor. So what they are trying is to try and derail the discussion, or probably take this discussion in a different direction. That's why they are resorting to this old gimmick. I call it as a gimmick because every time you show this RSS as a danger, a threat to certain communities, and then try and reap their votes. This is an old tactic. At least this time we decided we will not fall in that trap.
But if you don't fall in the trap, you don't sue people, you don't file defamation, they will continue.
We will do that when it is necessary. We have done it with many people. We will do also. There is a case filed against Mr. Rahul Gandhi. In Indian judicial system, it takes its own time. The case has already been filed against him. But we are also conscious of the fact that the whole effort is to drag RSS into the discourse and make that the main discourse. Whereas today, in this election, the discourse should be about nation's future, the future of the youth of this country, their progress, our borders, our economy, our jobs, our growth, our development, all these issues.
Okay, we'll have another participant. I think Nandini is online. Nandini, आप line पे हो क्या? नंदिनी, आपको सुनाई दे रहा है?
जी सीमा जी, आप सुन सकते हैं मुझे?
नंदिनी, आप अनम्यूट करोगे? अपना अनम्यूट करके देखें. हमको आप सुनाई नहीं दे रहे.
नाउ कैन यू हियर मी? सीमा जी, कैन यू हियर मी?
एक सेकेंड नंदिनी, एक सेकेंड. आप इशिदे, आप थोड़ा सा जोर से बोलेंगे नंदिनी, थोड़ा अपना वॉल्यूम रेज करेंगी.
कैन यू हियर मी?
नहीं, हमको नहीं सुनाई दे रहा. अनम्यूट किया हुआ है आपने? अनम्यूट किया है? आपको हमारी बात, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी.
आपको आ रही है? मुझे नहीं आ रही नंदिनी आपकी आवाज.
सीमा जी, नाउ कैन यू हियर मी?
Yeah, you are louder.
Yeah, should I go to another next one so that by the time you set her, Praful, are you there? Praful, I will try Devang. Devang?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, Devang, we'll go with you right now. Yeah, Devang, introduce yourself please and ask your question.
Hello Madhavji, this is Devang. I work as a volunteer with I Support Namo team for seeing Modi ji as our next Prime Minister, hopefully on 16th of this month. My question was, how has RSS contributed in shaping of Narendra Modi's future as Prime Minister? And again, how it has taken him to the lead of this level today. How is the background of Narendra Modi with RSS connected to this?
See, everybody knows that Shri Narendra Modi has worked in the RSS right from his early childhood. I would say when he was an adolescent, he joined the RSS. Since then, for almost more than 4 decades, he has been part and parcel of this great nationalist movement. One as an RSS functionary, he has worked at various levels and he served the organization, the country very well. And at one point, he has been assigned the task of working in the political party, which he handled in a very commendable way, finally ending up as the Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2001. Now, how he performed in last more than 10 years or more than 12 years is before the whole world for everyone to see. I mean, today he is regarded as one of the, he is the best chief minister in the country. His governance in last 10 years, 12 years, is praised by one and all for its efficiency, for its the clean governance. So he has stood up to the ideals that probably he has learned in the RSS. I honestly speaking, I don't want to take the entire credit for whatever he is today to only the RSS. Probably he has it in his own self to develop all these skills, all these qualities, to be a best leader, to become a I would say darling of millions of people in the country today. I mean, wherever we go, people just chant his name. That is the reality in the country today. In terms of his personal popularity, he's way ahead of any other leader in this country. So we are certainly happy that one of our Swayamsevaks, one of our Karyakartas, has risen to this level today to become probably the most popular leader in the country after independence.
Yeah.
And that is certainly a matter of pride and happiness to all of us.
Also, if
But give credit to him also.
yeah, sure. Also, going by the reports and
go ahead.
ground activities, we see a lot of youths now coming forward and joining RSS. How do you think Modi ji has, energized the youth to join RSS today?
In the last 5 years, we have made some conscious efforts to attract more and more youths into the RSS. We started a special drive to bring in more youths, attract more youths into the organization in 2009. We decided to set up university level units in hostels, special shakhas for university students, special camps, special activities. Like, today we have special exclusive activities for IT professionals in all the IT hubs in the country, whether it's Bangalore or Chennai, Trivandrum, Hyderabad, Pune, Bombay, Gurgaon, you name it. There we have special exclusive activity for IT professionals. Similarly, we have our activities in a number of campuses today. I'm talking about the RSS. Earlier, it used to be only the student organization called the ABVP. But today, RSS units are there in a number of places where you find a large number of youths coming together. There, we are having our activity. That is one reason why youth are attracted to the RSS. Then, secondly, we have also modified our activities. Today, we play a large number of new games. We play. We use new tools like in these youth shakas. In many shakas, they come with computers, their laptops, and they sometimes use PowerPoint presentations. They sometimes use documentaries to educate themselves and educate the other students. So we are using modern day tools. Then they form into groups, internet groups on Yahoo, on Google. They form groups. They interact. So these are all the ways that we have encouraged. We have, given full freedom for our activists to modify the activity so that youths can join in big numbers. And I can tell you something very interesting. In our youth activity today, there are places where our people play, rugby. Probably in India, no other organization plays rugby. I mean, to that extent, we have modified our activity so as to attract a good number of youths. So the youth being attracted to RSS is probably more because of this conscious effort that is being made by the organization in the last 5-6 years.
Also, do you think there is a Narendra Modi
Was
effect?
that good answer for you?
Last question. Do you think Narendra Modi has an effect, on more youths inclining towards RSS in last, say, 6 months to 1 year?
See, Narendra Modi ji has certainly become a rallying point for a large number of youth in our country. The idealism in the youth is being manifested.
Welcome back.
Okay, Nandini, are you there? Or what I'll do is I will ask another question from Mr. Ram Madhavji. Ram Madhavji, there is one very contentious issue in this country regarding RSS. A lot of people feel that RSS is anti-minority and especially anti-Muslim. Somewhere down the line, I think this was 1947, or could it be with Mr. Golwalkar's bunch of thoughts, or I don't know. Various people have told me various things, but they perceive RSS to be an anti-Muslim organization. Can you shed some light on this?
It's a totally baseless and wrong understanding about the organization. The RSS is not against anybody, not against any community, not against Muslims, not against Christians. We are not against anybody. We are for the unity and oneness of this country. So this whole campaign, this whole propaganda that RSS is against a particular community, namely the Muslims, is totally wrong, and it's a motivated campaign. Now, unfortunately, when you talk about India's oneness, you have to be clear about certain things. For example, take the case of Jammu and Kashmir state. We believe that Jammu and Kashmir, by history, by Constitution of India, is an integral part of India. Now, for saying that, if we are branded as communal or against somebody, that's a wrong way of understanding the fact. So that is how RSS is misunderstood mostly by certain sections, and certain sections deliberately propagate this idea that we are against the minority, etc., which is totally wrong. And I don't say that they are in large numbers, but yes, we have members from different religious communities, including Muslims and Christians, although in small numbers, actively working in our organization.
Well, this is not against Muslims, but a lot of women feel that RSS does not encourage single women or women to join the organization.
Another misconception about the organization. Only the daily shakha, day-to-day shakha activity that we run, because of the constraints of time, the timings of the shakha, and also the kind of activities that we undertake in the shakha, we have separate shakhas for women. Those shakhas are run by an organization which is again, inspired by RSS, called Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. That's also called RSS. They run shakhas for women. Other than that one activity, in all other activities, we have good number of women taking part, shoulder to shoulder with men, working. For example, take the case of our service activities. I told you we have 150,000 service projects. Many of them are run by women. I'm not saying just they are participants in the group. No, they are run by women. We have women actually participating in many other activities that are run by the RSS, and we are the ones who have passed a resolution in 2011 before this Nirbhaya case happened. Before that itself, the RSS has passed a resolution calling upon women of our country to take more active and proactive role in all walks of national life. And we demanded that don't stop at talking about protection and security of women. Talk about dignity. So, dignity and honor of women. We are very progressive in that, and we want the women that once men to come forward in work in our areas, and we want them to get each equal dignity in their homes, a dignity in their households, as well as in honor in their workplaces. Unfortunately, the case is otherwise of our women in their homes also in many cases. Both are equally wrong. We have to ensure that they get dignity and honor, place of honor in their homes as well as in their workplaces. India is a country which has always respected the women who served the country, served the community, worked for the well-being and welfare of the nation. That is the kind of womanhood that we have always adored.
On womanhood, there is this lady, Sunanda Vashish from Houston. She has asked a Twitter question. She says that she finds RSS to be a very closed kind of, so much of misconception being and false myths being propagated. And since you do not go out and share your views,
5 to 6 million members who are associated with the organization today. 40 plus organizations study. Are we a closed organization? We are the biggest organization in this country, not just in this country, in the entire world. We are an organization which runs its activity in open schools, where something open parks, anybody can walk in, like 4 million students. So this whole idea that we are a closed organization is again a product of probably lack of real understanding about the organization. I don't believe person who has put that question. But yes, in one sense, that question is that our interface with media has been very limited. Rather, I would opened up in a big way today. You find the RS on the internet as the most vocal and most groups on the internet. They are active groups having their own networks. They are working. So we today encourage more and more interaction. The larger society, larger community, and we are. Only thing I want to say is we are never using all the modern closed organizations. Yes, we have a style of reach out to working. Like we are not one organization with that to unreached believes in propaganda. Like people, individuals, and all, but give publicity, successful in reaching out to tens of millions of people in this country.
Okay, let's bring Manoj in. Manoj, can you hear? Manoj, can you hear me? No, Manoj is, I don't think Manoj can hear us. I will ask you another question. Since you have said that, can you, Manoj, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, hello. Yeah, I
Manoj,
I already. Can you see me?
Is Manoj?
Hello, yeah, this is here.
Manoj, can you hear?
Yeah. Hello.
Introduce yourself and ask your question.
Namaste Ramji, this is Manoj here
Manoj,
from Nagar, Maharashtra.
Yes, Manoj, go ahead. I can see you and hear you.
Yeah. Namaste Ramji, this is Manoj here, Swayamsevak from Nagar, Maharashtra. My question is, RS has always been blamed for not having any written constitution. So, any clarification on that? Hello.
See, this constitution for the RSS, I think. Am I right? Are you asking about the constitution of the RSS?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Are you asking about the constitution of RSS?
Yes.
Manoj?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yes, I'm asking about the constitution of RSS.
We had. Yes, Manoj, I got your point. we had this question in 1948. The government of the day asked the RSS to come up with its own constitution. Normally, an organization like the RSS, it's a very, it's an NGO purely run on a very informal manner. It's like a family. Families do not write their constitutions and rules for each member. It's understood and we work in a very natural way, in a very familial way. But nevertheless, in 1948, because the government of the day insisted that RSS also should come up with a constitution, we have a constitution today that guides the functioning of the organization largely. And going by the constitution, we elect the general secretary of the organization once in every year. We have a collegium which has the powers to elect the general secretary. That election takes place once in 3 years. But as I said, the RSS essentially is an organization that runs on the principle of a family. While we do have a constitution, we do follow that constitution in letter and spirit. Our functioning is very informal. And you are a Swayamsevak, you introduce yourself as a Swayamsevak. You must have experienced that informality of the organization. That is the real strength of the RSS. We work in a very informal, very normal, very like a family we function. Although yes, we have a constitution. If you want to read the constitution, it's available on our website.
Manoj, are you done? Do you want to ask another question?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Ram Madhav, I remember as a child, RSS would go to, rehabilitate people in Orissa cyclone, Andhra Pradesh cyclone. I have seen them working in Gujarat earthquake, Uttarakhand cloudburst. How big is your organization? Do you have different sections to take care of it? And I have also been told that you work extensively in Northeast. What is your attraction in Northeast?
See, the RSS focuses essentially on inspiring a large number of people of our country to take up community service as their mission in life. Now, we have been inspiring millions of people in the last 85 years of our existence. Our organization has inspired millions of people. Now, these people undertake innumerable activities in the country. They include, as I mentioned to you, service projects which are 150,000 in number today. They also run schools, 25,000 schools in the country. There is an organization run by our Swayamsevaks called Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram. This Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram works essentially for the welfare of various different tribes in our country. Their activities are spread across the hills and mountainous areas of our country where India's tribals live. That organization has a very wide presence in India's northeast, all those states. There they work towards promoting, preserving the tribal cultures, tribal identities, but also alleviating those tribes from poverty, illiteracy, lack of healthcare facilities. We have to lift them up from that situation. So our organization, our Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram operates in 28,000 tribal villages. So like that, there are any number of activities that these inspired Swayamsevaks undertake in this country. There are 40 plus organizations which are run by Swayamsevaks today. And I can tell you a very inspiring thing. The latest addition to the list of organizations that are run by Swayamsevaks is an organization called Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. The main objective of that organization is to help physically, differently abled people, blind as well as other differently abled people. It works among that community, and you will be surprised the number of people who suffer from that handicap are almost 10 million in our country, almost a crore of people. No, there is an organization which is working for the welfare of those people also. So you can imagine in this country with the inspiration that RSS gave to people, it resulted in people taking up upon themselves the responsibility of helping all sections of our society, whether it is tribals or it is blind or it is weaker sections. Whoever is in need of a helping hand, he will get it from the RSS. Yesterday, there was a bomb blast at Chennai railway station in a train compartment. One Swayamsevak was standing on the platform when that incident happened. The first thing he did was to call up his colleagues in the nearby area, and within half an hour, about 40 Swayamsevaks reached that place. And before the government and railways and other people could start the relief activities, the Swayamsevaks are already there doing their bit in helping the affected people. So that is how a kind of an inspiration that RSS creates, a sense of belongingness that RSS creates, results in this kind of instant action for the welfare and well-being of our society.
Let's bring Nandini in. She's been waiting for a long time. Nandini, आपको हमारी आवाज आ रही है? नंदिनी अनम्यूट करेंगी आप?
सीमा जी, कैन यू हेयर मी?
हाँ, आ रही है, आपकी आवाज आ रही है. थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम. बहुत अच्छी आवाज आ रही है आपकी. आई एम सॉरी, आपको बहुत देर वेट करना पड़ा. बताएं.
No, that's fine. I was just listening quietly. That's fine. Okay. नमस्कार जी, राम माधव जी, मैं नंदिनी तिवारी पांडे राष्ट्र सेविका समिति से हूँ जी. मेरा ये मानना है कि संघ परिवार हम हर फील्ड, हर डायरेक्शन में काम करते हैं. मेरे ख्याल से ऐसा कोई क्षेत्र नहीं है जिसमें हम काम नहीं करते. इसके बावजूद भी क्या है कि लोगों के दिमाग में जो हमारी इमेज है अभी भी निक्करधारी से ऊपर ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ पाती है. राहुल गांधी जैसा व्यक्ति कहता है कि राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ में महिलाओं के लिए कोई स्थान नहीं है. तो मुझे लगता है कि जैसे देखिए, वामपंथियों के पास जेएनयू जैसा एक बड़ा संस्थान है जहाँ पे वो अपनी मानसिकता लोगों तक दे सकते हैं. हमने सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर खोले हैं, बट उसके बाद हमारे पास कुछ भी नहीं है जहाँ से हम एटलीस्ट हमारे पास एक प्रॉपर वे हो कि हम अपनी बात मीडिया पर्सन्स तक कन्वे कर पाए. तो हम ऐसे बड़े बड़े संस्थान खोलने के बारे में क्यों नहीं सोचते हैं? या जैसे सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर भी हैं, उसमें जो बच्चे जाते हैं, मतलब मेरा पर्सनली ये मानना है कि जो अनुशासन, जो चीज़ें, जो संस्कार हमें सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर में दिए जाते हैं, वे और कोई स्कूल नहीं दे पाता. स्टिल देयर इज अ बिट लैक ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट जो हाई क्लास लोग हैं वो अभी भी अपने बच्चों को सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर में नहीं भेजना चाहते हैं. तो हम इन चीज़ों में थोड़ा और काम क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं जिससे हमारी रीच ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों तक हो पाए?
नहीं, आपके सुझाव के लिए धन्यवाद. पहली बात तो राहुल गांधी की बातों को कब से आप सीरियसली लेने लगे हैं? हम तो कभी लेते नहीं है. बच्चों को थोड़ा आनंद के लिए लेना है, बहुत ज्यादा गंभीरता से नहीं लेना है. बट हैविंग सेड इट, आपका जो मुख्य प्रश्न है उसके बारे में मैं इतना कहना चाहूंगा कि ये बात तो सच है कि सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर जैसे संगठन भले ही एक बहुत बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूशन के रूप में उन्होंने इधर उधर कोई डून स्कूल टाइप के स्कूल्स उन्होंने नहीं खड़ा किया होगा, बट आपको इस बात को जानकर प्रसन्नता जरूर होगी कि सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर सामान्य नागरिकों के लिए, जो साधारण नागरिक है, जो डून स्कूल में या कोई बहुत बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूशन में अपने बच्चों को नहीं भेज सकते हैं, ऐसे लोगों के लिए अच्छी शिक्षा देने का प्रबंधन अच्छी तरह किए हैं. और आज सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर के विद्यार्थी उड़ीसा में, झारखंड में, बिहार में टॉप 10 रैंक्स में, स्टेट के टॉप 10 रैंक्स में 5, 6, 7 बच्चे सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर के बच्चे होते हैं. और अब आज आपको आश्चर्य लगता है कि कई ऐसे शहर है यूपी में, बिहार में, उड़ीसा में, झारखंड में, जिसमें शिशु मंदिर के सीट के लिए हमको दिल्ली में फोन आता है, आप थोड़ा रिकमेंड कीजिए, हमको सीट चाहिए. तो वहां अच्छे स्कूल के रूप में वो एस्टैब्लिश्ड है, अच्छी शिक्षा दी जाती है, साथ ही साथ अच्छे संस्कार वहां मिलते हैं. यह बात राजनीतिक नेता भी स्वीकार करते हैं. यानी उड़ीसा के मुख्यमंत्री स्वयं होकर पिछले साल एक वक्तव्य में कहा था कि मेरे राज्य में सबसे अच्छी शिक्षा शिशु मंदिर देते हैं, क्योंकि 7 out of 10 टॉप रैंक्स इन 10th क्लास वो शिशु मंदिर के स्कूलों से आते हैं. इसलिए संघ के जो इंस्पिरेशन से चलने वाले ये विद्यालय है, वे बहुत अच्छी शिक्षा देने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं. हाँ, कुछ ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हमने क्यों खड़ा नहीं किया, इसका एक विशेष कारण है कि ज्यादातर हम प्राथमिक शिक्षा को मातृभाषा में देने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि संस्कार निर्माण हमेशा मातृभाषा में ही संभव होता है। आप अंग्रेजी को माध्यम बनाकर भारतीय संस्कारों को देने में सफल होना बहुत कठिन बात है। कर भी सकते हैं, कुछ लोग प्रयास करते हैं, बट साधारण समाज में आसानी से संस्कार देने के लिए मातृभाषा चाहिए। मातृभाषा को माध्यम बनाकर हम बौद्धन का ये करते हैं। इसके कारण कभी कभी आपने जिस सेक्शन का जिक्र किया था, यानी अपर एचिलांस के लोग जो होते हैं, उनको मातृभाषा से बहुत अच्छा नहीं लगता है, उनको अंग्रेजी में पढ़ना अच्छा लगता है। उनके लिए अच्छे स्कूल्स है, वो वहां जाए, वहां अच्छी शिक्षा ले। पर इस देश के सामान्य नागरिक को अच्छी शिक्षा भी चाहिए और अच्छे संस्कार भी चाहिए। वो काम शिशु मंदिर कर रहा है।
राम माधव जी, मैं स्वयं शिशु मंदिर की छात्रा रह चुकी हूँ, इसलिए ये तो मैं बिल्कुल नहीं कहूंगी कि वहाँ हमें अच्छे संस्कार नहीं दिए जाते हैं। मेरा क्वेश्चन सिर्फ उन लोगों के लिए था जो लोग अभी भी नहीं आना चाहते, जस्ट उन लोगों को अपनी तरफ लाने के लिए ये चीज थी। धन्यवाद।
बिल्कुल, वो प्रयास चल रहा है। अभी शिशु मंदिर भी कई जगह अच्छा अंग्रेजी सिखाने का प्रबंधन कर रहे हैं। उसके कारण जो सेक्शन आज अंग्रेजी नहीं है, इसलिए शिशु मंदिर में नहीं आना चाहता है, उनके लिए भी अच्छी सुविधा हो, व्यवस्था देश में अनेक शिशु मंदिरों में हो रही है। विशेषकर अर्बन एरियाज में, सिटीज और टाउन्स में इस प्रकार अंग्रेजी का भी अच्छा शिक्षा देने का प्रयास वो लोग कर रहे हैं।
नंदिनी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। वी आर रनिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम। राम माधव जी, एक प्रश्न मैं पूछूंगी। आप इतने बड़े एनजीओ के पार्ट हैं, आपको क्यों लगता है कि ये जो फॉरेन फंडिंग आती है हमारे देश में, और बहुत सारे एनजीओज को ये फॉरेन फंडिंग आती है और बहुत बार हमने ये देखा ये डिस्टेबलाइजिंग फोर्स की तरह काम करते हैं हमारे देश में, आपने इनको अपोज करने की कोशिश की है?
बिल्कुल किया है। इस देश में फॉरेन फंडिंग जो आता है, जिस उद्देश्य से आता है, उस उद्देश्य के लिए अगर खर्च नहीं हो रहा हो तो उस पर सरकार कार्रवाई करे, ये हमारा हमेशा डिमांड रहा है। ये अलग बात है कि इस देश में नीडी लोगों के लिए शिक्षा देने के लिए, स्वास्थ्य की सुविधा देने के लिए और अन्य मदद करने के लिए अगर कोई फॉरेन फंडिंग किसी एनजीओ को आता है और उसी के लिए खर्च होता है तो शायद किसी को कोई आपत्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए। पर आप शिक्षा के नाम पर, विद्यालय के नाम पर पैसे लाते हो, उसको अपने मजहब के काम के लिए लगाते हो और किसी को गुमराह करने के लिए लगाते हो या इस देश के बारे में गलत धारणाएं निर्माण करने के लिए खर्च करते हो, तो ऐसे धन के ऊपर प्रतिबंध लगना चाहिए। ये हमारा हमेशा के लिए डिमांड रहा है। इसलिए फॉरेन फंडिंग का सही ऑडिटिंग सरकार को करना चाहिए। डू प्रॉपर ऑडिटिंग। द रेमेडी इज नॉट इन स्टॉपिंग द फंडिंग. Remedy is in proper auditing of the money that is being received by the NGOs in this country. वो हमारा हमेशा डिमांड रहा है, आगे भी रहेगा।
थैंक यू राम माधव जी, आपने बहुत अच्छा संघ के बारे में बताया। आपने एक संघ के डीएनए को हमारे सामने प्रेजेंट किया। बहुत सारे मिसकंसेप्शंस थे, उनको भी आपने बारीकी से उनका आंसर किया। आपने अपने बहुत व्यस्त समय से हमको 1 घंटे का वक्त दिया और हमारे सारे पार्टिसिपेंट से बात की। हमको बहुत अच्छा लगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद जी, मुझे भी सबसे इंटरेक्ट करके बहुत अच्छा लगा है। आप सभी को मैं हृदय से धन्यवाद, आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। नमस्ते।